What if the domino fell tonight? What if the one move we've begged for all summer finally snapped into place and the whole NFC North felt the tremor? Picture the phone call, the paperwork, the locker room buzz-imagined Soldier Field waking up with a different smell in the air, the kind that says, "We're hunting quarterbacks again." You feel it too, don't you? That charge in your chest that only happens when a real pass rush is coming back to Chicago. I'm talking about a deal that doesn't nibble at the margins, it punches right through the front door. No, maybe next year. No, we'll see. At the deadline. A move that tells the rest of the league the monsters of the Midway aren't a bedtime story. They're wide awake, cranky, and checking the calendar for January. Listen to the wind off the lake. The city's ready. Because the need isn't theoretical. You've watched it. 3rd and 7, the quarterback backpedals, pats the ball once, twice, scans, shrugs, escapes. We've got effort. We've got heart. But with Austin Booker out, the rotation lost the snap of the whip. Every Bears fan over 40 has seen this movie. Too many times. We win the hallway fight and lose at the door because nobody slams it shut. So imagine the slam. Imagine the pocket collapsing from the blind side with that old-school violence hands that land like sledgehammers, hips that turn. The corner like a NASCAR coming out of the final bend. Think about 3rd downs turning into 4th and long. About offensive coordinators holding the call sheet like it just grew teeth. Think strip sacks, tip drills, and a defense that plays downhill again. And don't tell me it can't happen. Contracts can be massaged. Late picks become grease for the hinge. Veteran deals can be team-friendly if the fit is right and the ring is within reach. When the front office decides the window is real, the math starts behaving. Chicago has done. This before plugged the exact hole with the exact dude at the exact time. And the whole season tilted. Here's the part that makes rivals sweat. The scheme fit is clean. We're talking a guy who can stand up or put a hand in the dirt, who wins with heavy hands, short area bursts, and that mean streak you can't coach. He thrives next to a star, feeds off crowd noise, and treats double teams like a dare. Age? Veteran legs with veteran tricks. Price? Manageable if you're serious. And brothers, we are nothing if not serious. Now, remember the last time a name like this rolled into town and changed the way Sunday sounded, the snap count shorter, the rhythm broken, the stadium louder by a full octave? That's the energy I'm talking about. The phone could ring tonight, tomorrow morning, or 10 minutes from now. And when it does, the headline will be simple and savage. Chicago just got its closer. Za'Darius Smith. You can hear the ripple already, can't you? He fits the attitude of this city like a glove stiff with chalk straight line power. Nasty inside counters, the kind of veteran savvy that turns 3rd downs into punting drills. Put him opposite our young bookend, let him twist with our 3 tech. And suddenly the pocket looks like a folding chair. He doesn't need 60 snaps to change a game. He needs 2 bad tackles, 1 late slide, and a quarterback who flinces. Think about the cascading effect. Corners play more aggressive because the ball must come out hot. Linebackers hit their landmarks instead of chasing ghosts. Safeties bait throws instead of babysitting. And the offense? Shorter fields, easier points, fewer hero drives required from the quarterback. Field position becomes a friend again. And Soldier Field becomes a storm again. I know the counter-arguments. Mileage, fit, cost. But football is not cautious accounting. It's timing and nerve. Smith has been the spark for 2 different defenses. Walked into new buildings and taken over 3rd down like it was his personal holiday. On a prove-it tilt, with winter coming, a man like that plays like he's late for church. If your rhyme pulls, you make the call because the signal couldn't. Be clearer. The division is wobbly. The path to January is not a myth. And the identity of this team-tough discipline. Mean deserves a finisher who loves nothing more than ending drives with a jog to the sideline and a grin at the camera like, "Told you." This isn't about headlines. It's about closing. Time. Here's how it flips the chessboard. Early downs. Keep the run fit sound and squeeze edges. Third and medium, walk him around, mug the gaps. Force to center the guess, then loop him back outside when the guard panics. Third and long, line him wide 9. Let him breathe the snap and trust that first step. You can steal 2 possessions. A gain that way? 2 possessions is the difference between maybe and mark it down. It also buys patience for the kid when Booker returns. Instead of being your last hope in the fourth quarter, he becomes your heat check, your changeup, your fourth ace in a rotation that never gives the batter the same look twice. That's how you build a room, not just a highlight reel. That's how January teams get built in September. And yes, there are other names floating around. Younger, rawer, cheaper. Maybe the market breaks and somebody unexpected shakes free. But there is a time to roll the dice and a time to put the dice away, grip the table, and take the sure thing that has wrecked game plans in 3 different cities. You don't bring a butter knife to a Chicago winter. You bring a crowbar. Tell me you don't want third quarter at Soldier Field to feel like a freight train again. Tell me you don't want that camera shot of the quarterback staring at the scoreboard on 2nd and 18, wondering how it got so loud so fast. Tell me you don't want a December game where our defense walks onto the field and the other team's offensive line looks at each other like, just hold on. Picture the leadership effect too. A veteran who reminds the room how to watch film on Tuesday and how to close on Sunday. A guy who studies sets, clocks tendencies, and tells a young rusher exactly when to take the inside knife because the guard's heels are on the paint. That's not just pressure. That's tutoring baked into production, and it accelerates a defense faster than any whiteboard speech. Tactically, he unlocks mischief. Simulated pressure with only 4, mugging the center with 2 linebackers, then bailing them at the snap while he and the 3-tech cross face hello free runner. Overload to the strong side, then peel him on a loop into the B-gap when the tackle oversets goodnight drive. You want ball production? That's how you get tips, panic throws, and offensive coordinators wasting timeouts to slow down a rhythm they can't name. And when the weather turns, this is the kind of edge who thrives. December in Chicago is not friends with finesse. It rewards violence married to technique, and it punishes tackles with lazy feet. Every old school bear knows the feeling when the sideline heaters can't thaw your knuckles and the only way to get warm is a sack. He's built for that kind of Sunday gloves taped, visor fogging, heartbeat steady. There's also the veteran poker face. Crowd goes wild for the outside move. He sets it up twice, eats a chip block like breakfast, then in the fourth quarter. Sells speed and stabs inside so fast, the guard is still reading the scouting report when the quarterback hits the turf. That's art. That's what you pay for. Reliable disruption at the exact moment the game is decided. Pull back for a second and think history. When the Bears are scary, it starts up front. From the cold-blooded lines of the 80s to the savvy units that stole games a decade ago, our best seasons were defined by pressure that traveled home, road, turf, grass. Add it closer to the mix and suddenly the schedule looks different. That night game in December? Winnable. That road tilt against a mobile quarterback? Contain, squeeze, finish. This move also protects the offense from having to be perfect. Short. Fields are mercy in this league. 3-point drives become 7. The run game gets to stay stubborn. The quarterback gets to choose the profitable throw instead of the desperate one. And if you've been around long enough, you know the quiet joy of a fourth quarter where you're the bully again, dictating rather than reacting. Look, I get the caution. We've seen veteran signings that look great on the graphic and average on the grass. But this is different because the role is defined. Third down hammer, 2-minute nightmare, 4-minute closer. Not franchise savior finisher. A man who turns one score sweat into kneel-down relief. That's value you feel in your bones on Monday morning. So what happens now? Phones, texts, a little posturing, a little patience. Maybe it's a future mid-rounder. Maybe it's clever guarantees. Maybe it's just timing and mutual interest coming together when the market blinks. What I know is the fit makes sense in the film room, on the depth chart, and in the soul of This city, it's the kind of move that makes a week of practice feel different. And here's me being straight with you, from one lifer in navy and orange to another. Until the pen hits the paper, this is hope married to logic. I think it's possible, more than a fantasy, because the need is urgent. The price can make sense, and the fit is pure Chicago. But it could also be nothing more than smoke, whispers, and my own wish as a fan who misses the sound of a terrified quarterback in our house. Call it a rumor. Call it a prayer. Either way, if the front office finds a way to bring Za'Darius Smith to Soldier Field, this place will sound like 1985 again. And if it doesn't happen, then it's just my opinion. My one is a fan, nothing more, and we roll on. Still believing. Still demanding. Still waiting for the closer this defense deserves. Bear down, Chicago. I can feel it tonight. And